Okay, let's dive in. So, Kunle, how did you start your business? I know you have a business called Liveable. What is the motive behind the brand name?
Hey, thank you for having me, and thank you for taking the time out to speak with me. So, I'll share a bit about Liveable. We say that Liveable is a housing solution that helps the most ambitious young people transform their careers. So just to give a bit of context to this, we believe that housing, or where people live, sort of affects how people grow their careers. So if you live far hours from work, then it means that you don't have enough time to network with people or sort of invest in trainings, because you have to sort of go back and forth for several hours. We believe that it's important to live in a community of other ambitious people so you can connect and sort of share ideas. So I think the focus for us is how can we help young people who are thinking about growing their careers or transforming their lives, their finances, find the right housing solutions and help them sort of grow their careers. So there's a big connection for us between housing, where you live, and your finances.
Thank you. There are times when you start a business and it's not going the way you expect it to go, and there's some down times, many times that you want to give up. Did you ever feel like that when you started Liveable?
Wow, does that happen every day? I don't know if that happens every day, but yes, many times. I think that what kept us at Gingerbox for a long time was that there was a passion for people to eat, healthy. I'd gone through a phase where I had to figure out my diet, and I sort of learned how important diet was, for not just living healthy, but also your productivity at work. So there's a big connection between those two things, and so it was good to do that, and that passion kept us going, for a while. The same thing really with Liveable is that we started with a different model, figured that it wasn't going to work, changed it, and we just sort of innovated. But I mean, if you see Gingerbox and Liveable, it's about people. It's about helping people, become the best version of themselves, whether it's health, getting healthy, living healthier, or it's about, improving themselves by finding the right housing solutions. It's really about people. And I think if you're solving problems for people, that can sort of keep you, So money is a good thing, that people talk about money, the profit that comes. But I think if you find the right problem to solve and you're really passionate about it, then it just sort of keeps you going.
That's very interesting to say, because that leads me to the next point. Or, because I know COVID-19 has had a very big impact on some businesses, small businesses, even big businesses. And right now, people are looking for other mediums of making money or just finding their passion, their inner passion. So my question to you is, why do you think individuals these days are looking to become entrepreneurs themselves?
Interesting question. I think context matters. If you're in Nigeria and there aren't a lot of jobs, to be honest, then people are thinking, maybe I should start a small business. I'll say that that's not the perfect scenario, because starting a business is maybe tougher than getting a job. Starting and keeping a business is tougher than getting a job. I think that the other way to see it, is people realizing that Africa has massive potential. There's so many problems to solve that have not been solved. There are very simple things that you'll do everywhere in the world, with very little friction, that you have to expend a lot of energy on in this part of the world. So, so there's two sides, I believe, two reasons why people start businesses. Either because they cannot find a job, they can't find reasonable employment, or they've identified a solution to a problem that is clearly a big problem, or sometimes a small problem, but a problem that they feel like they can solve and get revenue from. That's what I'll say will be the two motivations, depending on where the entrepreneur is.
Okay, that sounds fair enough. So would you say that one has to be very educated to become an entrepreneur?
I think it depends on what education is. Is education schooling or education? Because you can learn without going through the four walls of a school or university. So I think it's about, if you're going to run a business, you have to learn continuously. So one of the things that we say at Covers at Liveable is continuous learning. You have to constantly learn, things change, things evolve. You're trying to solve a problem that nobody has solved. So, you have to experiment and learn and so on and so forth. So to answer your question, I'll say it's about learning. And so education is definitely important. You have to be very educated. Where the context of that education is maybe the question. Do you have to go through a formal education system, or you decided to learn by yourself? And some of the greatest entrepreneurs, in the world never had to go through all of that, 6 or maybe 14 years of education.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Lack of access to capital is one of the major reasons or the major barriers that young entrepreneurs face when they start a business. So my question to you is, how were you able to raise funding for your business?
So I'll step back to say that my first ever investor was my mom, and then got a couple of friends to invest along the journey. My second major investor, in terms of I'm thinking about the volume of amounts that I raised along the way. My mom, and the next major external funding I got along the way was from colleagues and a customer. I think that when you can sort of show some traction after you've raised from family and friends, you now can get money from institutional investors. So with Gingerbox, we showed some traction. We're able to raise some money from an institutional investor. But then when you build a business for a couple of years, you showed that you might understand, what building a business means. And then you go back and take all the lessons and consider what the next big idea is. Then it's also maybe one step easier because you are now a second-time founder. I think investors trust second-time founders more than first-time founders. They want to see that you've learned. And of course, when you present your idea to them, you're presenting in a far better way.
How were you able to build your team? Because to start a business, you can't just work on your own. You need people that can support you and, carry that business. So how were you able to build your team?
Interesting question. Interesting because we're currently, adding a good number of people to our team, and it's a combination of ways, referrals. You're looking for the best possible people, so you're asking people around you to say, "Oh, can you recommend?" And so some people joining us are, people who have joined us in the past that were referred by people that trust. Of course, there are other tools, LinkedIn. There's working with professional hiring companies. All this can help you get people on the team. But I think to attract the best people, you probably need to have a very big vision, and you can sell. And because I think that the smartest people will not move. Also, the same thing for investors. Really, they will not invest their money or invest their time in a business that they don't believe in. So regardless of what channel you're using to get this talent, I think what's important is being able to sell a big vision, to them, say you can be part of something interesting, especially when you're early stage. When you're a bigger company, you have a strong brand, people would line up, to join you. When you're a young company, people are wondering if, they should join, so I think it's a combination. So there are channels obviously that you can use, but how are you able to sell the vision? And hopefully you have some money, because to attract people also, they are going to leave, their regular income. It's obviously tougher to attract the best people if you've not raised some funding.
That is awesome, Kunle. Thank you very much for sharing your journey with me, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Lawami. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Taiwo Akinsoya, for giving us a peek into your dreams and aspiration. Next time on The Unleashed.
The total obtainable market for us in that grid is 5 million households.
We are able to onboard and rebrand women.
People don't have the habits of proper waste management.
Our solution is simple. We develop a mobile application. We are looking at scaling up to at least 5 other states in Nigeria.
I think the big question is are you even ready to take capital? That's the first thing.
But that's the major question that you should ask yourself, right? So if you blitz scale or you grow too quickly, you die too quickly. Can you really absorb the capital that you're looking to raise? Is your business sustainable?
That's it for today, people. See you next time. Ciao.